Once again, congratulations on the tremendous win. You've done something that no one else was able to do against, none other than Viktor Postol. Can you just speak a little bit about your great performance today?
Honestly, man, I'm my worst critic. I give myself a D+. My father give myself a B. I just gotta go back to the drawing board. We gotta critique the things that we didn't critique in the fight. We got to fight over and won victoriously with a stoppage. That had never been done. He done fought the undisputed, and he done fought other champions that tried their best to knock him out, like Josh Taylor. They became victorious against him. There was his only 2 losses, but they didn't do it in the fashion that I did it. And that's a statement, that set a mark in my journey and in my career, So I'm proud of that, but there's more to it than that, when you strive for excellence.
What do you feel like you could have done better in this fight? Even not, congratulations, and you won. But what you say you're the hardest critic on yourself. What do you feel like you could have done better according to your standards in yourself?
I could have been slipping a little more. I could have been closing the distance a little more, a lot easier instead of reaching. Honestly, like I said I was gonna get the fight over in 5. It could have been over in 5 if I would have executed the right stuff. It just took me a little longer to execute it. I'm sad at the fact that it took me to the 10th round to execute it. I could have done that in the 4th round or the 3rd round, apply a little more pressure the correct way instead of doing it gunshot. We call it a gunshot thing. When you see something that's open and you don't take it out of too much of you being obedient. You're trying to be so obedient and courteously to the point you don't take the opportunity. We call that being gunshot. I wasn't executing like I said. I wasn't executing early on in the rounds. I was seeing it, but I wasn't firing. Like I said, he's a Class A fighter. You can't take away nothing from him. But I'm just glad that I got it done. And when we get home, we back in the gym. I got a little layover. I got a little mouse on my eye. But it come with the sport. They don't got nothing to do with my muscles and my legs and my brain. It's just a scar tissue. So when I get back home, I'm just ready to stay focused on sharpening my craft.
Now I have to ask, I know that you were focused on your fight today. A lot of people felt that, Josh Taylor lost his fight against Jack Catterall. I don't know if you heard that, but...
I put down, split decision.
Okay. Is that the direction that you would love, of course, face Jack Catterall, Josh Taylor? I know you got to work things out.
Definitely. But in total, I'm definitely looking forward to cleaning the 140 division. The highest pinnacle I can go is getting all of the belts. That's just our goal as far as the journey for me. And me and my camp, we're going to keep knocking at it. We're going to keep knocking at it until we get there. As far as opponents, am I looking for anyone specifically? Not at all. If they line them up and they got the right credentials and they are mandatory or a step-up fight, another step-up match, and I got to take it, I'm taking it. They got to have the credentials though. If they're the people that I got to fight and go up against to go to that next level, that's what it's going to be. We're going to take that and run with it. We're going to take it and run with it. Because like I said, our journey consists of one thing, and that's obtaining all of the belts. Right now, Josh Taylor got it.
And then just my 2 final questions. There's another, a lot of people have been saying that you and Brandon Lee would be a great fight in the near future. Would that be something that you would entertain? Not now, if you're chasing for the titles, but let's say Josh Taylor vacates the titles and all the belts go out. Maybe Showtime.
We gotta be there to see it, and things just gotta change, dynamically in order for that to happen. If it does go that way, and he was one that was lined up in front of me, you never know, it might do go down. Like I said, I'm not Nostradamus. I'm just shooting for a goal, and our goal is to get all these belts. Right now, Josh Taylor have them.
The other day when I was interviewing your brother, he had mentioned something about Terence Crawford possibly in your future. How do you feel about that as a possibility?
I feel as though that it's not far-fetched. It's not far-fetched. When you're dealing with the ranking and the sanction bodies and stuff like that, you will deal with people going up, coming down, fighting at catch weights. You know, and sometimes it's just to get a notch in your belt. Sometimes it's just to prove something to the fans. You know, but me, myself specifically, I'm going at who I need to go at as far as me gaining credentials. I'm on a road to gain credentials and get the titles. If you're talking about me fighting a potential opponent, that's fine. That's hypothetically. But when you talk about going in the right direction, we're looking at rankings. We're looking at stats. We're looking at the way that boxing is structured, you know, and we going that route. So all of these other fighters that people want to see me fight, it's possible. If they are a high caliber fighter, let's make it happen later on in the road and possibly be a pay-per-view fight. You know, you never know. We can keep this sport going, make money, a lot of money.
One last quick question, man. Was Postol, was he a lot tougher than you think? Did you already anticipate it, or did you already anticipate him coming in tough, especially with all these things he have going on back home?
You know, I don't take no slack off of no one. Did I expect him to come in with that form of style? Definitely. That's why I said I'm my worst critic and I'm my strongest opponent. It wasn't nothing that he did. It was all the stuff that I didn't do. You know, he didn't bring nothing to this ring that I never seen before. I've been an Olympian. I got robbed in the Olympics in 2016. I should have been a gold medalist. But politics happened. You know, politics is one major thing that runs the sport sometimes, you know, but they took my gold away from me. That was the highest pinnacle I can go as an amateur. I didn't get the nod, I didn't get the W, so we decided to take our journey professionally. You know, and in the amateurs, in the Olympic Games, I saw all there is to see. So I can't do nothing but grow off of that. I saw many different styles. There wouldn't be nothing new that anybody bring to this boxing ring that I haven't seen before. Sharing the time to even interview me, I'm a humble person. Like I said, I still tell people I'm definitely a superstar. Based off of how the fight went, I'm glad I got the victory. I did what people haven't done. 2 Viktor Postol. You had Terence Crawford. He's undisputed. You had Josh Taylor. He got all the titles. Neither one of them could stop him. I was the only one that stopped him. Them was his 2 only losses. I made it his 3rd loss and I stopped him. You know, that's a statement. A lot of people have been asking what's been the most difficult thing during the fight dealing with my opponent. I tell them that it wasn't nothing that he did. It was more so what I didn't do. You know, I'm my worst opponent. I'm my biggest opponent, my strongest opponent, and definitely my worst critic. You know, I went to the Olympics in 2016. During that journey, you see a slew of different styles. You know, so when you're dealing with styles of fighting and people that you're going against, you have long fighters, you have pressure fighters, you have swifty fighters. The fact that I'm getting to is he didn't bring nothing new to the table that I haven't seen before. We've been doing this for so long, me and my family. I just didn't execute what I was told to do. I'm just fortunate that I did execute at the last second of the round. You know,
how much better will you be after this performance, the experience you got out?
Oh, after this, I know for a fact I'm like catapulting. I'm catapulting to a whole nother level. Because like I said, I'm my worst opponent. And I saw that I put this fight on a high magnitude. I shouldn't have magnified it as much as I did. You know, I was so caught up in giving the fans a great show. And I'm pretty sure I still gave them a great show. But when you know the science of it all, it's more technical. You know, and me and my family, we shoot for excellence. And that's just that. So next fight, next time y'all see me, you'll see me more control, more poised. Won't be getting hit as much, won't be reaching as much, and the fight will be shorter. It won't go 10 rounds, it won't go 12 rounds. It's that simple.
Did you get a chance to see that Taylor Catterall fight? And if they put a Gary Antuanne in with the undisputed next fight, you feel like you could take those belts off right now?
Nah, I said that. You taking the words out of my mouth. But due to the sanctioning body, it's rules and regulations that we definitely got to apply to. 48-day layoff. If I was to get stopped or injured and lost, it would be a 180-day layoff, you know, suspension. And that's just due to the rulings. But if you was to ask me when is the next time you're ready to get in there, I would say tomorrow. You know, I could have went 4 more rounds. You know, it's just the fact that I just got to go back to the gym, work on some mental things, and that's it. That's all. As far as my glory and the gift that I have, I'm gonna keep using them and I'm gonna keep displaying them.
Hey Gary, I know you said this will be the last one. Just your honest opinion on if the fight should have been stopped when it was stopped.
Definitely.
Yeah?
Definitely. Small gloves, I believe a female, she can put on these gloves and wind up a hard punch and hit any gentleman on their chin, and they will feel it. You will feel the effect. You will feel lightheaded or get dizzy because these gloves are 8 ounces. And not only are they 8 ounces, you have grown men that's prepping 8 to 9 weeks, almost 2 months, you know, if not more, just for one person. That makes them a dangerous person. You know, it makes them very dangerous. They get in their body in a tip-top physical shape just to crank up shots from Texas if they need be, you know, to hurt their opponent. So these shots that people think, oh, well, these shots aren't really damaging. They really are. You know, that's why we have sport doctors here to do a neurological test, because after the fight, you don't know how the brain is responding. You know, but you see bruises, and it's easy to look over bruises and say, oh, you're a man, you can brush it off. But the internal part is the part that matters most.
Yeah, bring it up, because a lot of people felt it was stopped early, that he was fine
Hector
still.
Garcia is up now, guys, and he's about to split.
That's just an opinion, and everybody have one. You know? I gave y'all mine.